Hey folks, I wanted to just clue you in on a new workout style I've been doing where it's 2 basic moves each day. Today is my pull-up day and my squat day, just kind of getting warmed up here. The point of all of my exercise is very much about turning on and controlling muscular tension. So that's what I'm doing here right before my pull-up rounds. I'm just practicing turning on my lats, turning on my shoulders, turning on my forearms, my biceps, from a hanging position, twisting, moving around, just getting my mind-muscle connection all set. Then it's just going for straight reps. Today's workout for pull-ups is just a narrow or a neutral grip, as many as I can do for 3 sets. High fatigue now. What I'm working on these days with my pull-ups, a number of things. Number one is definitely making sure I have a lot of lat and upper back activation at the bottom of my pull-up, and I'm also really focusing on keeping some internal rotation with my elbows. Don't let them flare out very much, keeping the focus on driving the arm straight in instead of letting it kind of circle outwards. Set number 2, since the first set is done with a lot of fatigue, the second and third sets are going to have a significantly reduced number of repetitions. I think I'm around 15, 16 reps on the first set, and then I'm barely scraping by 10 if I'm lucky on the second and third set. So working on range of motion, of course, but it's not just range of motion, but keeping the tension along my entire pull chain equal through that range of motion, making sure I can get the last couple of reps there, even if my body stops moving, holding the tension for a little bit more. Again, I'm not a big, huge fan in this idea of failure, not so much that I believe it's a bad thing, but mostly because I think most people don't really reach true failure. It's more just they reach a high level of fatigue and their mind just kind of bugs out on them. So I'm also trying to work on kind of making peace with a high level of fatigue, of feeling like, okay, I'm really tired, but it's okay, just keep working on it anyway, as you can kind of see with me right there. After the 3 sets there, I'm just kind of working on some narrow rows just to finish off the upper back a little bit more, getting the biceps engaged, the back of the shoulders, the grip, starting off with my legs straight. That way it's harder, and then moving quickly on to having my knees bent 90 degrees, and then hammering home as much as I can. This is, again, a very good proof that the horizontal pull and the pull-up are pretty much about the same exercise, because I can barely do any of these after doing pull-ups. Moving on to the legs now. Squats. The warm-up for the squats, I get down nice and low, and basically just kind of circling things around. This is a technique I've been using for a while to find dead spots in my leg chain. The inner thigh, the hamstring, the hips, the calves. I'm just looking for anywhere that my muscles seem to decrease in their muscular tension, trying to get some control, opening up the hips. This way, when I'm doing my squats, I don't feel like I have strength in a very narrow range of positions, but I want to make sure that I can keep my muscles under my control, have a good sense of balance, and I'm not feeling like I only have one type of squat. Jumping right in, single leg squats, something I've been working on for a while now, kind of a little off balance always in the first set here. Really what I'm working on with my single legs are having a large amount of inner thigh, hamstring activation, and also the inside lower glutes. So really getting very specific about what muscles I'm engaging, where I'm engaging them. Again, trying to get the entire leg chain engaged naturally. But that's a dead zone that I've been aware of for a number of years. Whenever I have my leg kind of kick out to the side here, as you see, my hips shift around in my upper body, that's what's going on, is I know those muscles are not working optimally. I'm also trying to make sure that I've got less rocking and hip and rocking forward as I come up. Just like with normal, regular barbell squats, when we get tired, we have a tendency to lean forward, get our weight on the toes. The objective with all squatting is to keep the technique as strong and clean as possible, even under fatigue. So remember, it's not so much about can you do so many reps or sets, it's how the quality of the technique during the rep. It's about keeping it smooth, not having any shifting, and sometimes, yep, just like that, I'm like, nope, I don't have it. So one of the biggest advantages to the single leg squat is when things aren't working optimally or well enough, you lose the technique. You kind of stumble back a little bit, and when you're under leg presses or heavy weights, sometimes you can shift your weight around to compensate and kind of fake your way through it. But with single leg squats, it's just simply not possible. Your leg has got to be moving at a perfectly optimal level of tension throughout your entire leg in order to make the move even possible, let alone to make it very clean and to do it with a high degree of control. Body is leaning forward a little bit, of course. As I get stronger, I'll also be moving my hands closer towards my chest to the point where they are basically folding across my chest and even possibly getting behind me. So as you can see, I got a long way to go. It's the fool is the one who always believes they're at the top of the mountain. No matter how good your technique is, no matter how advanced it is, there's always something to work on. There's always something to do a little bit better, and that's how you keep progressing. It's always keeping your mindset on, okay, what's the next step? How do I do things better? Okay, I could lean a little bit less. I could have a little bit less rocking back and forth. And then as a finisher for my legs, I just have a round of squat jumps. I find this is a very good way to finish off the legs. I'm landing on my heels, rolling to the ball of the foot, and just up and down. One, maybe 2 rounds here. I'm not driving too hard into my toes to finish off the legs. Let me know if you have questions down below. Be fit, live free.